Tech Toys.
Welcome to the city by the bay, San Francisco. With a lot of new startups making San Francisco their home, this city of the Golden Gate Bridge is now being tagged as the new hub for technology. So it came as no surprise when Silicon Valley-based handset player OB Worldphone decided to hold the launch event with their smartphones in San Francisco. Backed by tech industry veteran and former CEO of Apple, John Sculley, OB Worldphone unveiled two sub-$200 smartphones. This is San Francisco-based design company Ammunition's headquarters. To give you a little background, Ammunition has previously designed products like the Beats headphones and also worked with former CEO of Apple, John Sculley, to design Apple's PowerBook. The company has partnered with John Sculley again for his latest venture, OB Worldphone, and has designed their two latest smartphones. Tech Toys was there at the global launch, and here's a look at all the highlights. Studies suggest that at least 1 billion people globally will upgrade to a smartphone in the next 3 years. Several handset makers, from legacy players like Samsung, HTC and Lenovo to upstarts like OnePlus, Xiaomi, Micromax, have decided to ride this growth wave. And the latest addition to this list is OB Worldphone. Until last year, OB worked on an off-the-shelf model. With virtually no design inputs, components were assembled in the UAE, and OB released 5 smartphones under this brand as part of their initial experiment. But in January this year, OB pulled back all the devices from the market, including India, and pivoted. OB now designs its own smartphones and has dedicated OEMs based in Silicon Valley and China. CNBC TV 18's Tech Toys caught up with 76-year-old John Sculley, who served as CEO of Pepsi-Cola and later took over Apple as the company's CEO for a decade till 1993. Sculley is the co-founder and chairman of OB Worldphone, and it was largely his vision to undertake this relaunch. Congratulations, John, on this new release. Tell us about the two devices that you've launched today.
Well, we are a design-led company, and we are a Silicon Valley original, and we have brought together the team that worked with me at Apple, so we all understand what it means to be a design-led company. It means focus, and so we have just 2 design centers, but we have focused our design very differently than the rest of the market, where all of the design attention had been only at the premium end of the market, and nobody thought about design when they got down to the lower price points. And we said to our team, can you make beautiful products, no compromise in design, fit, finish, materials, make them culturally iconic, but at the same time bring in the kind of technology that one would expect at a $700 price point, but bring it in at a $199 price point. And for the 3G phone, bring it in even lower than that at a $129 price point. So these are our 2 design centers, a 3G phone, a 4G LTE phone, and we're already working on the follow-on products in our roadmap, so there'll be new advances and lots of exciting things to talk about as we roll out through 2016 and 2017.
All right, so you're basically looking at the budget segment, but of course with great design and something better to offer that, you know, in your target audience. So what are the kind of markets that you're looking to target?
We are focused on 70 markets around the world. We're not going into the high replacement markets like China or US or Western Europe, because people have had smartphones for many years, and these markets are dominated by established brands. But we're going into markets where half the population is typically 25 years or under, where the wireless operators are going through the conversion from low bandwidth to 3G and 4G LTE. Where there is a lot of interest, particularly people living in urban areas, to be able to get smart-looking smartphones that says this is part of fashion, not just electronics, but recognizing that people have a budget, and not everybody can afford a $700-800 smartphone. So we said that's our opportunity. The tailwind is at our back. because of the conversion of wireless operators to higher bandwidth, great interest in video and photography. We're taking advantage that we are in Silicon Valley, the center of innovation for the world. And so not only are we designing with talent in Silicon Valley, but we are partnering with many of the exciting, innovative startup companies and bringing their technologies to the World Phone. And the World Phone means we plan to be in 70 countries, these fastest growing countries where the young population is so important, and we plan to be there by 2017.
All right, help us understand a little more as to how is this Silicon Valley approach going to help you cut through these 70 markets and enter into a budget segment which is already a very saturated segment.
Well, look what's happening to the large established international brands that have been in the smartphone market for many years, targeted consistently the premium end of the market, and many of these companies are hemorrhaging money. In the case of Microsoft, they bought Nokia, wrote off $9 billion, the entire investment they put into the Nokia handset business, and then the restructuring charge. In the case of HTC, they had some of the most admired phones in the world. They had 10% market share. They're now down to 2% market share, and the value of the company is worth basically what the cash is on the balance sheet. And there's story after story of these established companies that have not been able to adapt. So the Chinese have come in with much more innovation in what they can do with the budget side, but we have more experience outside of China in the international markets. We're used to selling and building brands all over the world, so that gives us an advantage. We also have the advantage that we come with our experience from Apple, and so we know how to build products that just exceed people's expectation in terms of being iconic designs. And there's no product in the world that is a more iconic cultural statement than the smartphone. It's exceeded television. It has become the symbol of the world. When I was a young man growing up, everyone talked about cars. Now everybody talks about their smartphone. And so that's the world we live in. So if you just focus on the budget side and you don't complement it with extraordinary design, the quality of design that comes out of Silicon Valley, then you leave a gap in the market, and that's the gap we're targeting.
All right, speaking of expectation, OB Mobile, I mean, the most interesting part about the brand is the story and the founders and the people behind it, and I'm sure everyone has high expectations from the brand. How do you plan to, live up to that expectation, model after model? You did say that you've been discussing about future products, and tell us what's in the pipeline. Help us understand the road ahead.
Well, there have to be some secrets, and so I'll hold back on some of the things we're doing in the future because the news we have now is pretty exciting just on its own. What I will say is that the team we have is just extraordinary. Rarely is much talent been brought together as we have, and Ammunition isn't just a design house. They are integrated into our company. They are running our design. They are equity holders in OB World Phone. So they are very much a part of the company. And it gives us the ability to work closely with them on everything. In many cases, when big companies become big, they let their middle managers seek a consensus. There is no consensus in startup companies in Silicon Valley. It's always the point of view of the leader. And in a design-centric company, the leadership always looks at everything through the lens of design.
Where does India fall in your priority list?
Well, India is right now the most competitive smartphone market in the world. So to say that we're going to be able to compete and win against every company that's putting incredible investments into India would be unrealistic. So much as I use the example of Porsche or BMW in the automotive market, we're going in and carefully developing a franchise, and we just want to be really good at what we do. And it'll take time for us to build our reputation and people to say, gee, these products are different than everybody else, but we're patient. So our ambitions in India are to become recognized as the product that people aspire to the most in the budget category of the industry.
So Scully's mission for the OB World Phone is simple: provide great design with high-end specs at an affordable price. And here's what they have to offer. First up is OB World Phone SF1, which is named after San Francisco. This 5-inch device supports 4G LTE with Snapdragon 615 processor, 3GB RAM and a 3000 mAh battery. In terms of design, it might look simple, but it definitely packs in a great spec sheet for $199. The second device is called SJ1.5, which is a 3G device with 1GB RAM, available for $129. Both devices have a Sony shooter and Dolby audio speakers. We must say that these devices look sleek and do pack in a lot given their price points. We caught up with the craftsman behind the devices, Robert Bruner, founder of design firm Ammunition Group.
Every time we talk about the brand, the one thing that we hear about is how this brand is design driven.
Yes.
Tell us more about this and tell us what you exactly mean by being design driven.
Well, being design driven is this idea that when everything you do, you know, that your customers see and experience is driven from the idea about design and design excellence. You know, most companies tend to treat design as sort of an event that happens between marketing and engineering, where what we look at is that everything that we do from the beginning to end that's delivering a product into the market, it is about design. And design is driving every decision that affects that experience. And that's what nets really great products.
Apple is this premium, high-end, luxury product. Are you trying to create a budget version of Apple products, Adobe?
No, not at all. It's funny. I've been asked this, and I say it's like the difference. You know, it's like if you took a car analogy, Apple is Porsche and we're Fiat. I mean, we're really trying to be a very populous brand and deliver really great design at this space. We don't view ourselves as competitive at Apple at all. But you know, John, Sajeev, and I share this experience at Apple of understanding how to develop great design and deliver to the market. And we of course, taken that experience and we're applying it at Obi, but we really don't view ourselves as a competitor to Apple at all because it's such a large market and there's so much to do and there's so many different people that could be served by design. So we view it as a very different thing.
From being associated with brands like Apple and, you know, being the force behind Beats and now to look at a budget phone category, was that a personal challenge in a way to you know, design something that's not premium?
Well, yeah, well, it is premium, but it's premium it done in a way that we could do inexpensively. You know, yes, it is. I mean, it's exciting to us. I mean, we always love these opportunities where there's an audience that's been unserved by design, and that's originally what Beats was. There was no high-performance audio brand for a younger audience, and this is very similar. There's no design-driven mobile phone brand for a younger audience in these regions. So that's this opportunity. There are people out there that we think we can deliver a great experience to that haven't had it before, and that's what gets us excited.
Time for a break on Tech Toys, but on the other side, we chat up with serial entrepreneur and CEO of OP Worldphone, Neeraj Chauhan. Stay tuned.
Tech Toys